And just a perfect night for football, Kate, here in Hamilton as we get set for round 2 of 4 between the Argos and Ticats. 6 days after Toronto came back in the second half at home at BMO Field to win that one 34-20. Well, we talked a lot about Brandon Banks last week, Matt, facing his old team for the first time. The emotions continue back in his old building for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe, and it's difficult to see him in another uniform when you hear Tim Hortons field. But Brandon Banks is that type of player that can make a difference. And admittedly, McLeod Bethel Thompson, he's seen the frame there with Speedy B. He says they're not on the same page yet, and they've been working really hard to get there because he knows what a valuable player that could be in his lineup. And Matthew Schultz, boy, a lot of talk about this guy. 5 years in the league now. He's only had 5 starts. This will be his 6th tonight. And he's very athletic. We understand that. We're going to get a good look at him tonight, see what he's got to do, and see what that right arm can help with, and see if that right arm can't help this offense get on track, because Hamilton certainly needs to bounce back from last week's difficult loss.
The Argos won the toss, they deferred, so Hamilton wants the ball. And where wind can be a factor so much in the stadium, it's gentle right now from the east at just 7 kilometers an hour at 25 degrees Celsius. A beautiful, clear summer night, Friday night football here on TSN as Boris Beatty is about to get this game underway. 4 games in 5 weeks. They count them off and mark it off against the Argos, a penalty before the opening kickoff.
Oh. I saw Tom Valesi blow his whistle, stepped out on the football field, and got him kicking from the 20-yard line now.
A delay a game call. How often do you see a penalty?
I have not. Boris Beatty is livid. He's about to kick this to the Lake Ontario.
This better not be a sign of things to come as we are underway after an opening penalty. Opening kickoff down to Lawrence Woods at the 20. And up across the 35, where Matthew Schultz, who got 3 starts for the Montreal Alouettes last season, comes in for his first start as a member of the Ticats.
Well, and I know what it's like running that football field for the first time, saddling up, being the guy where your adrenaline's running, you just want to get out there. And I know if Schultz anything like I was, he wants to get hit first. Pull it down and run, because he's very good at doing that, settling in, and lock down and start moving the sticks incrementally. And going up against a tough defense here in Toronto that I really thought was a difference last week, along with their special teams.
And they had injuries too. Of course, Dane Evans hurt his shoulder. Braylon Addison out for the season after a torn Achilles. So on a play fake, Schultz off to Tim White, gets across the 40 to get things started up to about the 43 as we meet that Hamilton offense, brought to you by Expedia.
Yeah, and Brendan Revenberg, he's a veteran up there on that offensive line. I love the look. His Hamilton look, yeah, it looks good on him, but yeah, that's been a problem for them, and he's going to have to keep everybody in check tonight. And these 2 guys, Jackson and Dunbar, boy, they've got to see the football a lot tonight, in my opinion, to get this offense kick-started and keep them going for 4 quarters. I'm talking 15, 20 touches apiece at least.
Call it a gain of 5 for Tim White. 2nd and 5, Hamilton 43. Looking off to the right. And it's completed to Keandre Smith, who had 3 catches, the rookie last week out of Guelph, and his first catch in his CFL career 2 weeks ago against Montreal. Yeah,
one of the deepest throws and hardest throws you have to make in the Canadian Football League here. Opposite hash, on a rope, on the money. Well, that's a good sign. Nice play fake, start to drive, and then a sharp, crisp throw, the width of the football field, and he's on point, it looks like, early.
Keandre Smith getting the start, a gain of 10, 1st and 10 up near midfield for the Ticats and Matthew Schultz. Handing off to Don Jackson. Finally, a leading rusher on the team that is not a quarterback after Jackson's carries last week lead the way on the ground.
Yeah, right. We talked about Speedy Beebe in a different uniform. What about Jacarra Davis? That big horse right there, man. That guy can eat right there and make life miserable for any quarterback, no matter who it is. Wynton McManus, I think, is one of the most underrated players in the Canadian Football League. Does it all for Toronto. And then on the back end, you got a tall halfback, Deshaun Amos, 4th-year player from East Carolina. Just another lanky, rangy player in that secondary of Toronto.
Gain of 3, Jackson. 2nd and 7 right at midfield, Hamilton. Opening possession in and out of the hands of Lamar Durant, who took a pop from Jamal Peters afterwards, so incomplete. And it's a 3rd down.
Yeah, Rod, you know, this is, well, as a quarterback, you're looking to find your rhythm, you know, moving the sticks here. This is manageable 2nd and 7. This is a catchable football. You got to have that. It's professional football. You're trying to win a football game early, set tempo and the rhythm, and a lackluster attempt at a football like that. Lamar got to lock it in.
So on that incompletion, the drop by Durant, Hamilton will punt. Michael Domagala at his 40. Ball right at midfield, and Brandon Banks back here at Tim Hortons Field will field this punt for the Argos. On the bounce into the hands of Banks at the 12. Goes to the right after a punt of 43 yards. Felix Grangoche escorts Banks out of bounds after a return of 9 yards. And on comes McLeod Bethel Thompson, who last week was 17 for 27 for 230 and a touchdown pass, no picks.
Yeah, McLeod Bethel Thompson is it's just a difficult puzzle to solve. I mean, he's got all the parts, 6'4", 225. We talked about his mobility during pregame. We saw it last week. Thought it was a difference in the game. He's got a gunslinger mentality. Tries to fit balls in there. Sometimes he shouldn't, but I said never lose that, man. It's who you are. It's why you're here.
And so they start at their 21 with Andrew Harris with him in the backfield. Faking to Harris, swinging off to the right to Markeith Ambles. He gets it up to the 25 and a couple of yards more. A gain of about 6 for the Argos as we look at their offense starting out.
Yeah, McLeod's out there. He's got a left guard. Gregor, first-year player from St. FX, St. Francis. And, boy, he's going to be tested tonight because that defensive line ain't no joke for Hamilton. And Andrew Harris and Curly Gittens draws in. Gittens is going to have to be a lot more active than he was last week as Cam Phillips is out of the football game. We know Harris is going to get his touches, but look for number 34, A.J. Ouellette, to get some carries as well.
Well, here's Harris on a 2nd and short, and easily gets the 1st down and gets it up across the 40 for the Argos. Harris held to 47 yards rushing last week and only 17 the week before against Ottawa.
Yeah, and this is a beautiful look at Andrew Harris cutting the ball back here as he gets it. Bang. He sees patience. Whoop. He sees blocking coming over, feels him, sets it up, knows it's there. And that's what about 2,500 touches will get you there, is that feel and that ability to know when your big guys are around and how they can help you out.
12 more yards from the 6th all-time leading rusher in CFL history to pass. Oh, it's knocked away by Julian Hauser. Had he volleyed that a little bit differently, might have had himself a pick.
Yeah, talked about his athletic ability off the top of the show and the highlights there about MBT, but well, he's going to get on his horse right here. He's right here, then he's going to get to show us his vertical. And he times it up nicely. He felt that the whole way. As soon as he saw the back, Andrew Harris swing out, he kind of knew it was going. Great defensive play there. By
the way, he does have an interception this year, dropping back in coverage. The BC Place picked one off of Nathan Rourke, knocking that one away. 2nd and 10 at the Toronto 40. Setting up the screen. Markeith Ambles trips a bit up and around the 45, shy of a 1st down for Toronto.
Yeah, Carriel Brooks was in open space, and you know it was going to be a great matchup. And well, and like you said, it just tripped as he was getting there. And you know, Markeith just kind of was his own worst enemy there. Right, boom, there he clicked his heel, and then he wasn't able to follow through with the cutback that he was trying to put on Brooks, and Brooks made the open field tackle, forcing the punt.
So Lawrence Woods, the leading punt returner in terms of average heading into week 10, to accept this one from John Haggerty as the Argos on their 1st possession have to punt it away. Gets it inside his 20. Enoch Penny-Laye can't get it. He gets the edge. Here comes Lawrence Woods. Haggerty, last one back. And great work by the punter, John Haggerty, to slow him down. A flag comes out, but he takes Woods down after a return of 47 yards.
During the return, face mask, Toronto number 29, 15-yard penalty.
Haggerty got him, but he also got the face mask, hence the flag. But it could have been worse for the Argos. Lawrence Woods, first big play. Hamilton with the ball in Argo territory when we come back. First big play of this game, Lawrence Woods, the punt return, then the penalty, Matty.
Yeah, really nice return by Woods. Sets it up nicely, breaks the first tackle here, and then it's a no-no. Gunners get contained, lose contained, and Haggerty, who is a soccer player, rugby player, 6'5", 225, takes a great angle. Easy call here by the officials. You see the face mask, tack on another 15, but I'll take that any day as opposed to a touchdown.
So Hamilton starting just inside the 35 of Toronto, and a gain on the ground for Matthew Schultz. He gets it inside the 25 on that play.
Yeah, I gotta like that. Quarterback design, little counter, little help up the middle. 2nd and 3. And watch him counter here. Big boy's gonna come right. I believe it's just coming right here, and gonna lead up in the hole. He's gonna come on here and bang, gonna follow him. That's a decent job.
So now 2nd and short. Don Jackson, first down and more. Peters finally takes him down, but not until he gets to the 15. So a couple of running plays for a team that does not run the ball very often.
Yeah, I think one of the stars in the league, Don Jackson, that is just now starting to feel it almost halfway through the season. And I think he's as explosive as they come, and does a nice job of showing you just about every arsenal in this playbook right there. Hurdle, little cut, little explosive through the hole. Don Jackson.
We have an injury. The Argo down is Robert Priester, who is starting in the secondary because of an injury to Shaq Richardson for the Argos. We'll take a break. Back in a moment here in Hamilton. One of the things we've talked about, Matt, is the Ticats have to get Don Jackson more involved.
Absolutely, and last week they did a nice job of that, and he was destroying Toronto in the first half, and then things kind of got off the rails, as we know, but Don Jackson can ignite any offense, and there's a touchdown catch, a late hit by Chris Edwards in the end zone, 2 yards deep. You got to stop that, Mr. Officials out there, if you're watching. But Don Jackson, boy, he can light it up in a heartbeat. I would, like I said, feed him the rock early and often.
And the injured Argo, Robert Priester, got off under his own steam, but out of this play, Toronto's 16-yard line. Jackson again on the first down, and a flag comes out late as he's taken down. Wynton McManus there, the leading tackler, but see what this flag is as they get it down near the 10.
10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And that is against the Ticats and the center, Alex Fontana, for holding. So it pushes them back to the 26 now.
Oftentimes, you know, you engage on a nose tackle like that, and you try to get leverage, and he tries to move a little quicker, and it gets out of your cylinder, and officials there to pick it up.
1st and 20, the 26, pump fake. Is he taking off again? Schultz is trying. Enoch Mwamba chasing him down, taking him down for a limited gain of a couple of yards for Matthew Schultz. It'll be 2nd and long, Hamilton.
The long arm of Enoch Mwamba just reached out there, and Matthew Schultz, I think, forgot just how difficult it is to outrun the 10-year vet. And this is absolutely a heck of a job of a very athletic quarterback in space. Enoch Mwamba, like a heat-seeking missile right there, hauls him in, reels him in, and takes him down. Big-time play.
Picked up about a yard. So 2nd down and long, about 19, call it 18 to go. The 24, 24 and a half. Dumping it off, Tim White inside the 20. And inside the 15, a little closer, not nearly enough for a first down. I guess puts them in closer shape for a field goal try.
Yeah, and you know, we saw a little inexperience there from Schultz, trying to make something happen. You can't fault him for that. Takes a big loss, and you get a nice 2nd down gain there, but you only move the sticks, and you're 8 yards short. It's a difference in the loss and just throwing one away right there.
So Seth Small comes in, 8 for 9 in the season, longest of 30. He really hasn't been tested from any distance so far.
And talking to Orlando Steinhauer, he's just livid. He says, we can't do this. We can't be making 15, 20-yard field goals. We got to be scoring the football. And this is an example of that. And you said it, Rod. His longest field goal this year is 30 yards. And, hey, they'll take 3 points against their arch rival any day.
Another short field goal.
The end zone.
3-0 lead. Back in Hamilton, Brandon Banks, 8 great years as a member of the Tiger Cats. Looking back to the beginning when Speedy B wore a different number. They put it up on the board and they made the announcement, remembering what a great Ticat he was, and now the cheers that he got from the Hamilton faithful, remembering him as well, and for all the hate, if you will, between the Argos and Ticats. Nothing but love there for Brandon Banks.
Yeah, you can call it hate, Ron. It is what it is.
For just about everybody else. Over the middle on first down, starting at their 40, the fullback Declan Cross.
What?
Went to school at McMaster, and a big gain for Toronto to start things off.
That's amazing. That's what he does for this football team. Knocks big guys out of the way, plays special teams, and he catches the football. It's his 82nd catch of his career. Little check down Charlie action going on there. It'll take Declan Cross over anybody in the secondary, for that matter, coming straight downhill.
Gain of 17, Cross over midfield, first down. Argos down 3. Andrew Harris, tough sledding, gets it down inside the Hamilton 50. How about that Tiger Cat defense, Matty?
Yeah, we was chopping wood last week in the first 30 minutes anyways, and then the Toronto Argonauts brought out a chainsaw and changed that. But Dylan Winboy, guy chops wood 24/7, 4 sacks on the season, an incredible player. And Cam Kelly, I about blew my mind when I saw this stat. He's got 3 picks this year. It's tied for league lead. Love that. Sam playing that. And Carriel Brooks, I think, is the missing link. No offense to Alvin Darby, but I really like what Carriel Brooks to this secondary. He completes it, in my opinion.
Looked like it was partially deflected. It does get through to Tommy Neild, getting the start with the injury to Cam Phillips just before this game. Neild.
Yeah, that ball came out pretty quickly. McLeod Bethel-Thompson on target, but just well played in the secondary for Hamilton. And I thought if McLeod had a little bit more time and patience with his eyes, he might have missed a receiver downfield. But, you know, it's live to play another one, play some field position here and see what Haggerty can do, see if he can pin him back.
Well, the last time Haggerty punted to Lawrence Woods, Woods returned it as far as the punt went, about 48 yards. This is a 3rd and 2. The Argos do kick it away. And see how they cover Woods this time, who won't touch it, lets it roll into the end zone, and put the first point on the board for the Toronto Argonauts after a 47-yard punt. A flag does come out as it's standing now. The Rouge, a 3-1 Tiger Cat lead. Injury. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti.
Yeah, it happened on that first series in Toronto. The Ticats quarterback said he came off. He didn't tell anyone, Rod, which the Ticats medical staff didn't like, because after the game, when he was telling them and taking off his pads that he felt something in his throwing shoulder, it was an ultrasound, an x-ray, and then an MRI that deduced it could be a little while for Dane Evans. Now, he says he's going to take it slow, but he's giving Matthew Schultz all of his support. And Matthew Schultz, according to offensive coordinator Tommy Condell, has so much knowledge through all the offensive coordinators that he worked with in his years in Montreal. And Condell says, I like to know what my quarterback sees, so I understand Matthews, both his confidence and the way that he sees the field around him. I'm quite confident that I can give him enough in the playbook as it already is so that he can be efficient. As for Braylon Addison, who injured his Achilles rod, he will have a procedure done on that on Monday.
And that one really hurt, obviously, for Addison, Matthew. Heartbreaking for the Cats, too. He was having a good game. It's intercepted. Argos with the ball. Robbie Smith. And Robbie takes it inside the 5. Deflected, and he picks off Matthew Schultz. And the defense stands up for Toronto. Robbie Smith with the pick to put the Argos in a 1st and goal.
Yeah, you're just trying to sidearm it and get it over the defender who gets upfield. Robbie Smith, the right side of your screen, you watch him drop off. He gets his hands up, much like we saw Julian Hauser in the first series. And then And it's right here, and watch him. He'll just seek out this play, much like we saw Julian Hauser earlier in the game for Hamilton. Sees the back trying to release in the flat, gets his hands up, and then here, gets on his horse and takes it inside the foul.
So Smith sets him up. Turnover, and getting close to the goal line. Andrew Harris trying to bull his way right down. It'll be a 2nd and goal as he gets it to about the 1. But how about Robbie Smith, 3rd year at a Wilfrid Laurier?
I don't know if you saw that. I know you know this roster, Rod, like I do, but the Argonauts like some Wilfrid Laurier players. And there's one of them right there, made a big play in this one. Turned the complexion of this first quarter right around. Robbie Smith, way to go.
Yeah, offense, they have Curly Gittins out of Laurier. You're right, Matty. And -16, the Ticats are now in the turnover ratio. And this really hurts in a game where they must be feeling more pressure in this rivalry with the Argos. They lead it by 2 points. But Toronto on the threshold of taking their first lead of this game. That close to the end zone. Chad Kelly in, and he's in the end zone. Kelly with the touchdown for Toronto.
Would not be denied. Took a big lick before he crossed the goal line. Kept that big body going. Boy, he just steamrolled right there. 6'2", 216 from Mississippi. Watch it coming right at you. Little play fake. Get downhill. Speedy B better get out of the way. Bam. There's the big hit right there. Speedy B, look at him. Oh, yeah. Got an assist on the play like they designed it and drew it up. Ryan Dinwiddie. I like it. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put Speedy B out in front and block. He's not going to block anybody. Kelly, I want you, Chad, I want you to run through 2 or 3 players, and then Speedy B is going to hold you up, push you in the end zone.
You just get close, and Speedy can take care of you then. So, yeah, 16 with the assist. Chad Kelly, first CFL touchdown. Boris Beatty with the point after. Kelly gets in. Product, as you said, Matty, of Ole Miss, had a couple of years there, and one of the leading passers in the school's history, and all smiles down there on the Argo sideline.
Yeah, Rod, here's how it all got started. Number 40 down at the end of the line of scrimmage right here. You're going to watch him. Watch him do his thing. He recognizes his play, back crosses his face. Get your hands up, bat it to yourself, get on your horse. Don't get run down, though, by Matthew Shills. It looked like he pulled a hammy right there, too. And then the touchdown run. Speedy B out front. I like it. Watch. Yeah, there goes Speedy B. There goes Kelly breaking tackles, and Speedy B pushes him.
Get in that end zone.
That's just comedy. That's the beauty of football, right? Because guys will have a blast tomorrow, especially if they win, breaking that play down, talking noise about it. Another look at it. Yeah, there's a lot of Hamilton guys scraped, and we're in the hole, but Chad Kelly not going to be denied.
Well, it's not always about blocking. It's about pushing, too. The assist.
Look at that. Smallest guy in the field going, yeah, that's right. I just did that.
So Chad Kelly gets first CFL points. He got in at quarterback in BC for a short period of time, and their loss to the Lions back in week 3. So now the Ticats are down. Lawrence Woods across the 20, across the 40. Now for Lawrence Woods up around the 43, where Schultz will be right back on the field after throwing that interception. Second pass deflected by the Argos in this game.
Yeah, so last 2 series is Rod. You know, we've seen Schultz take a sack on 1st and 10, being pushed back. And then they had a nice second down play underneath that got him close, 3rd and 8. And then this pass, he goes back on the football field and he throws a pick. And here's Schultz, first couple of games. And not bad. Those are great numbers. I'll take that all day long. You can win with that as your offensive coordinator.
Back to Don Jackson. And not much there. Wynton McManus, their leading tackler, their weak side linebacker in, and on that one again.
Yeah, I just tell folks, if they can just key on number 48, Wynton McManus, they'll have a lot of fun watching a football game because he's all over the football field. Don Jackson, just keep feeding him. It'll come. Just keep feeding him. That's a matchup. I thought I heard Davis matching that one up. He was going Mwamba and McManus against Don Jackson. You watch those 3, you'll have a good time watching this football game.
Jackson only got a yard at 2nd down and 9. 8-3 Argos now. Passing is Schultz off to the left, completing the first down. Stephen Dunbar with his first catch of this game tonight, and that's enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, you don't realize how big he is. He's 6'3", second-year player from Houston, and he's coming right in your couch. Be careful. Move the Cheetos. Boom. I don't know, man. I'll take a look at that one again, because it was going down between his legs. I don't know if he secured it before he got out of bounds, but evidently we're moving on.
The snap of the ball here across midfield. Little play fake and quick hitter over the middle. That's complete to David Ungerer back in the Ticats lineup. And another first down, Hamilton.
Yeah, and Ungerer, I mean, you got to be on the same page as your quarterback here, because the ball's got to be out in a hurry. He's right here. He's got to get up there and look high. Little play fake. Ball's coming through a little small window right between the tackle and the guard there. Winton can't get over there in time. Nice timing, nice play, good pickup.
Ungerer's 5th catch of the season, putting him over 100 yards for the year. From the Toronto 37 now. And the heat was coming. McManus on the blitz, and a flag comes out after the tackle. He took Schultz down, and then a flag came out.
Yeah, and you can watch McManus. He's penetrating. He's reading this right off the bat. Just a smart player. Yeah,
Major foul, roughing the passer. Toronto number 48. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's a tough one right there. McManus is right here, and he's coming downhill. He gets in front of he gets leverage on the blocker, and he's in Schultz's kitchen sink before he knows it. You can't move him. I don't know.
That was roughing the passer on McManus?
I didn't see anything there.
Neither did I. Achimpong came in late, but that didn't look too bad either.
He was just kind of like securing him, and I don't know if he slid into him with his knees, but I didn't see anything there, Rod. There's a challenge on the flag.
Now a challenge flag has been thrown by Ryan Dinwiddie, who obviously, with some help,
I think
got the word that he didn't see anything either.
I think his guy saw what we saw.
We have picked up the roughing the passer call. It'll be 2nd down.
So to clarify here now, they're moving it back. The command center said it is not a penalty, and so they picked up the challenge flag by Ryan Dinwiddie.
And I don't know how many times we've talked about this in studio. We're yelling at the screen, and the command center has gotten involved, and I think in the right spot here, because obviously there's not a penalty on the play, and you don't want to have a coach challenge something and for all intents and purposes, for some reason not being overturned, and to me they got the call right.
They got it right. It's a 2nd and 15 after the loss and the sack by McManus, who was involved in this play too after the catch by Ungerer. So
I'm telling you,
Wynton McManus,
he's all over the place.
He certainly is in this game so far.
You look at his stats, coming to this game, he had 46 tackles. He had 5 special teams tackles, if you can believe that. 2 quarterback sacks, a forced fumble, interception, knockdown, 3 tackles for losses. The guy's all over the place. McManus.
Let's just say the Argo defense has been doing its job so far through the first quarter here in round 2 of this rivalry. Toronto leads it 8-3. Through one quarter here at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, the Argos lead the Ticats 8-3. Defense for Toronto, Matty, the biggest reason why, forcing that turnover that led to the Argo touchdown.
Yeah, Rob Smith, a nice job of playing, watching it, and recognizing what was going on and using his athletic ability. And next thing you know, Toronto's in the end zone. Difference in the first 15 minutes of this football game. It's not that hard. You got to take care of the football. It's been an Achilles heel for the Hamilton Tiger Cats first part of the season. And Dane Evans couldn't hang on to it. He gave it up too many times. And quite frankly, more of that tonight is the problem here, Rod.
And another problem for the Argos here, Matty. This is Andrew Harris. This was moments ago. He was favoring his right side last week against Hamilton and appears to be doing so again and heading to the dressing room for the Argos. So Harris out of the game for now, and a field goal try for Seth Small. And this one, his longest attempt since becoming a Ticat at 43 yards. And yes, he can kick the longer ones as Small does make a bigger one. 3 points on the board, and now a 2-point Argo lead. Week 10 continues, and how about this? Nathan Rourke, BC Lions starting the doubleheader against Bo Levi Mitchell and the Calgary Stampeders at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, 5 local time. And after that, the Edmonton Elks coming off a humiliating loss again at BC Place, take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Cody Fajardo and company rested coming off the bye. And a big one, you consider those Western standings for those two teams as well. Couple of big games in the CFL and TSN doubleheader Saturday, tomorrow. Tonight, starting the second quarter, the Argos with the ball. McLeod Bethel Thompson handing off to A.J. Willett. Breaks a big one up the middle. Still on his feet. Finally taken down. Julian Hauser chased him down, but Willett in for the injured Andrew Harris. Has it inside the 45 of the Ticats. And a first down.
Yeah, just watch this. Watch this in the interior. Bang, bang. Getting up on second level here. And you can watch Allen, Bladdock do their thing. Get there. Seal it off. And then A.J. with his fresh legs explodes through the hole. And then runs the daylight. Loving it. No Andrew Harris, no problem for the Argonauts.
And right back in the hands of 34. And this time, a little tough sledding there. Javon Santos Knox had him wrapped in the legs, and he does push forward to about the 40. Willett, one of the several Ohio Bobcats, have been in the CFL, an old teammate of Nathan Rourke's.
Yeah, and watched a lot of film over him when he was down there, being a Bobcat in Ohio, and an explosive running back. And obviously younger legs, not as many touches, not as much wear in the tires. See if they'll keep feeding him the football.
2 carries so far, Willett. They throw, it's knocked away. Jamal Rule covering Brandon Banks, his old teammate.
Yeah, he ran that route for him and got there just about the same time the ball did. Really nice job by Rule. Just one-on-one right here, folks, making it happen. Watch it. Boom. Drops. Sees it, gets there. Nice. Come right over the top. Brandon kind of felt him coming over the top, leaned into the ball as opposed to moving his feet. I think it gave Roll an opportunity to back that away.
Boris Beatty in to try the field goal. This from 47, put down by John Haggerty. And it is money for Beatty and the Argos. So they gave up the 3, they get the 3 back. 5-point Toronto lead, second quarter, Friday Night Football. The CFL and TSN family would like to give a shout out to longtime Ticats fan Mike Piccolo, who's at home watching the game tonight. Pick, as he's known to his family and friends, has been a CFL and Hamilton fan for over 50 years. And recently Mike has had some health issues, but we are looking forward to seeing you back at Tim Hortons Field soon, Mike. All the best from all of us here.
All Ticats fan right around the world and around Canada, wishing Pick the best.
All the best.
Keep fighting.
Absolutely. 1st and 10, Hamilton 40, down by 5 again. Schultz knocked away nicely. Jamal Peters stepping there on Tim White. Good coverage, Argos, second down.
Yeah, I'm always impressed with the size typically in Toronto's backfield, and Jamal Peters is 6'2", second-year player from Mississippi State. Can't do much better than this right there. Long arms come in handy right there. Break up on Tim White.
White with just 1 catch last week in their 34-20 loss in Toronto. Has 2 in this night. Second down. That's complete. Keandre Smith has another catch. He gets it across the 50. Good work after the catch by Smith to get the first down, Hamilton.
Yeah, it was, and he started going the wrong way. And I mean, we got a bird's eye view from him here, and you know, you got to know where the sticks are, and I think he did. And his instinct said, no, I can lose a little ground right here, break this tackle, use leverage and speed against Enoch Mwamba. And then he does. He toughs that out and moves the sticks. Nice job by Keandre.
Football's in his blood. Mentioning last week, his father, Adrian, actually started his career with Hamilton, but a long time, Argo. Setting up a draw to Don Jackson, lots of room. Jackson, another first down for the Ticats on the move inside the Argo 40. Gain of 19 yards, Don Jackson.
Yeah, I just watched the big boys work here. They're just going to do their thing, kind of set it up, little draw action, get up to the second level, seal Enoch Mwamba, and Jackson's into the secondary, and now they're going, oh, hell. Oh, man, we got to tackle this guy? That's just a nice job by the big boys up front. Well done. Fontana, Revenberg, Woodmansey. Tip of the hat to the big boys.
Gain of 19, Jackson. Another first down from the 39 Toronto. A deep look here to the end zone, intercepted. Another turnover, a flag comes out though. And it's Maurice Carnell, newcomer to the Argos, getting his first CFL action. Carnell with the injury earlier to Robert Priester gets the pick in the end zone, but let's see what the flag is about.
Well, Durant just gave up on a play because he thought he had defensive pass interference. Never once tried to get after the interception.
Pass interference. Toronto number 8. Ball we placed at the
And he was right.
line. Automatic. First down.
Yeah. There's the PI. Just covered like a blanket. No way that Schultz is fitting this in there. That's an easy look. Right arm, just Amos just undresses Durant. And right to your point, Carnell coming in there nicely for Priester, playing over the top. Too bad Amos drew the penalty.
Jamie Newman, the quarterback for Hamilton. See if he can punch it in. Flags out again as he does take it in for the Hamilton touchdown. So let's see.
Offside, Toronto defensive line. That penalty is declined. We have a touchdown.
Newman, touchdown, Tiger Cats. Aided by that big pass interference against Toronto.
Big time mistake by Toronto there because they had that receiver blanketed. Takes the penalty and then allows Newman in the offensive line to do this. Big 6'3", 230-pounder from Wake Forest, first-year player, find the end zone. It's going to be tough to stop moving him. He's no Ted White, but he is a big boy. And I asked Orlando Steinhauer about that. We had a good laugh on Wednesday. He says, no. He's a physical football player. He can move that 230 pounds around.
Still hasn't thrown a pass yet in the CFL. He has 3 carries for 2 yards and 2 touchdowns now. Going for 2 in a 1-point game, and they get it to make it a 3-point Tiger Cat lead into the hands of the rookie, Keandre Smith from Matthew Schultz. So a touchdown for Jamie Newman. That gets them ahead again, and then they add 2 more. From Schultz to Smith. Ticats up 3.
Yeah, Keandre Smith finding the end zone, not the way he would like, just a little fly and die here. And Schultz is going to get the edge. He looks inside, then he finds Keandre wide open for a 2-point convert, first of his career. Give it to him. Goes down, secures it. And Rodney, like he said earlier, it's in his blood.
It sure is. So after that touchdown, it was Jamie Newman, number 14, you saw there with the touchdown after the pass interference against the Argos. And so it's Curly Gittins on the kick return now. And he gets it up to around the 30. But this is what we're talking about. There's Keandre Smith. And here's is proud, I'm sure, Papa, but this is back in the 1996 Grey Cup, right on this footprint of land at Old Iberwin Stadium.
That's right.
The interception of Danny McManus. Adrian Smith takes it in for the touchdown. He got the pick 6, and the Argos beat Edmonton that year, 43-37.
Yeah, Adrian, multiple CFL All-Star, 3-time Grey Cup champion. Shout out to his wife Denise, daughters Michaela and Charlize. I know he's a proud father watching his son score his first 2 points in the CFL.
So now in the hands of the Argos, and that one intended for A.J. Willett. Getting playing time now with the injured Andrew Harris, and no, Richard Leonard says, not on my watch.
That's what they're taught to do. Make that happen. Pass knockdowns, pass breakups. Those are stops, Rod. 0 yards. Tackle for loss, pass knockdown, sack. All those things add up.
Leonard had kind of the Dikembe finger wag there, right?
Yeah, he did.
Don't you be trying that here.
Right.
2nd and 10, Toronto 30. Oh yeah, we got a game. It's a 3-point Ticat lead. Blitz coming. McLeod gets it away, and coming in, closing quickly with Siante Evans on Giddens. 3rd down.
Delicat, he's just coming, and he's getting on his horse, and he is flying, trying to time this up right downhill in McLeod Bethel's lap, and he's got to get it out there. He's almost late with that. It's a really nice job of Siante Evans, another wily veteran on the back end, trying to pick him one.
So John Haggerty to punt it away from about his 20. Lawrence Woods has had one big return in this game, taking this off the hop inside his 30. And he breaks it up to about the 37 after a good 52-yard punt by Haggerty. So back in the hands of Matthew Schultz. They got a touchdown in their last possession to take the lead.
Well, special teams is playing a big part of this. This punting duel going on right now with both these punters, returners. These special team units are getting worked out. Field goal kickers are being challenged. Snappers they're going deep into the snapping rotation. And special teams, such a factor in the Canadian Football League.
Up near the 38 of Hamilton to get things going now. Back up a field goal.
Good idea.
Schultz just gets it himself, and he picks up about a yard.
Business decision, Rod.
Yeah.
Abort. I think Enoch Mwamba had a bead on him. Matthew Schultz, you know, he's very athletic, and he played fakes, and he's going to pull it and keep it and watch Mwamba. Now, come this way. He better get down. I love that.
Schultz isn't afraid to run. He had a 30-yard carry 2 weeks ago.
Sometimes you got to know when to just give it up and live to play another play. That was one of my biggest things I could not figure out, but Matthews got that figured out there.
You knew one way.
Oh, man.
Don Jackson. It's all tangled up there with Deshaun Amos.
Yeah, that's a beautiful open field tackle. Got to have it. Get off the football field. 2 and out. Hamilton, worst in the league, most in the league, or certainly twice as many as the Toronto Argonauts, Rod, coming into this football game, basically. And this is open field, and Don Jackson, making fakes about 2 yards in front of Amos, and he's like, really? You got to come to me first. And as soon as he does, he goes and gets him.
Amos takes him down. Don McGowan inside his 30. After that 2 and out by Hamilton. Wow. Brandon Banks.
Nice punt.
Booming punt by Don McGowan to chase Banks down near the 10. A 57-yard punt, and Banks is lucky to get it back to the 15. Julian Hauser in there, and a 4-yard return for the X. Ticat Great now in double blue. Bethel Thompson back on. This was Andrew Harris's last carry, and it came late in the first quarter. He shortly after left the game and has not come back. Let's get an update from Matthew.
Yeah, when he came off, Rod, I was right in his line of sight. He came off and started to feel around his shoulder, right pec area. He went right to the Argos medical staff. They pulled him over to the table and started to look at that area, move the shoulder around. We were going to talk about at this point in the game a pitch count for Andrew Harris. As Matty mentioned, 2,500 offensive carries in his career, offensive touches, I should say. But immediately when he spoke to the Argos medical staff, they told him, okay, you have to relax. They took him to the locker room, came out without his pads. He's done for the night, Rod.
Thank you, Matthew. So the Argos without Andrew Harris, deep in their own zone. Deep ball wide open. Tommy Neal getting more action with the Injury to Cam Phillips just before the game as he stumbles and is limping now. That's afterwards, after he was out of bounds, and he is hurting now after a reception of 44 yards.
Oh, man, I hate to see that because that's a nice corner route. He's just going to get down there and run a corner route, and McLeod waits and waits and waits and extends it down there. Boy, he's got him beat from the jump. He's waiting on the football there, and as he goes out of bounds. Oh, right there. He looks like he stepped on something over there in front of the signage. And he looked like he rolled his ankle. Watch this. Right towards the sign. At the end of this play, after he's pushed out of bounds, if you just keep it going right here, keep it going, you watch right there.
Right there. Wow.
Are you kidding me? It's like as dangerous, as violent as the game's on the football field, you're stepping on something or rolling an ankle as you're off of it. Well, it's just... It doesn't seem to be fair.
Awful to see. A gain of 44. He has 2 catches for 48. That's his biggest in his young career.
He had 3 for 50 coming in. He's having a game and going to see all kinds of time. It's just disappointing to see.
So frustrating for that young man, Tommy Neal. In his second year, played his university ball here in Hamilton at McMaster.
Oh, man. You work so hard for those opportunities, and then you just hate to see it go down. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but taking a good long look at his ankle.
The ultimate race around the country is back. Get into the new season of the Amazing Race Canada. That is Tuesday at 9, 5 Central.
Is that Marshall Ferguson? Does he host that show?
Only on CTV Central. Marshall Ferguson, John Montgomery. See some likeness there.
I do. I was busting his chops last week in Ottawa about that.
Tuesday at 9, 8 Central. Amazing Race Canada.
He's an amazing young broadcaster too, Marshall Ferguson.
He sure is.
Happy to have him as a team. Oh, it's good to walk. Maybe he'll be able to walk this off.
Well, and talk about Marshall, great quarterback here at McMaster.
Yeah.
Before the time of Tommy Neal, who is heading off the field now after this big 44-yard gain, and then this.
Right there, he hits that pad, and it forces him over. It's like, are you kidding me? But best thing I can tell you right now is keep that thing moving. Do not lock up on it. Keep it moving. Get on the bike. Get that blood flow in there. Tape it up. Stay out there, but hopefully you can play through that.
With the gain by Neal, now out of the game. It's at the Hamilton 51. Argos. Bethel Thompson, incomplete.
Not even close to being on the same page there. Tunde Adeleke had a better shot at anyone on that one. Sometimes it happens.
Bethel Thompson 5 for 9 for 78 yards. Check that 5 for 10 with that incomplete pass, and out of that 78, a lot of it, and then one play to Neal, 44 yards. The Hamilton 51, second down. The Ticat in his face, he gets it away and he completes it. Inside the 20, Markeith Ambles with Adeleke all over him, and 2 big passes by Bethel Thompson. This one 34, marching him down the field.
First of all, let's talk about the protection MBT gets. Good job up front by the Hogs. He climbs the pocket. Then he gives his receiver a chance. Markeith Ambles was a very physical receiver. Everybody in camp in Toronto talks about him being physical. McLeod gave him a chance to show off his physicality, and he comes up with a big catch.
So here come the Argos inside the 20 at the 18. A.J. Willett. His job for the night with Andrew Harris's day done with the injury, and he gets it near the 15.
Just watch Micah Johnson here. He just absolutely destroys the middle, makes life miserable. Micah Johnson right in the middle here. He just watch him do his thing. Get off of me. Get off of me. He forces AJ to take a path he didn't want to because he was 2 yards in the backfield. It's called playing on the other side of the other wedge.
2nd and 7 after the gain of 3. A look into the end zone and nobody's home. Adeleke, the Ticats, the closest one there, and a little mix-up in communication, and it's a 3rd down and a field goal situation, Toronto.
You work so hard for those opportunities. You're down by 3. You're in the red zone, 2nd and 7, manageable situation, and you're 10, 15 yards off with your intended target. It's tough to swallow right there if you're Ryan Dinwiddie trying to find some magic down there in the red zone.
So on comes Boris Beatty, 1 for 1, made a 47-yarder.
Toronto's 31% down there in the red zone. Not good enough.
This will be a 22-yarder by comparison for Beatty. And he is 2 for 2. And with 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go until halftime, we are all tied again, 14-14. Brandon Banks, the memories Ticats fans have of him once Tim Hortons Field opened up. This is the East Final back in 2014, his 2nd year. Remember this, Matty, against Montreal?
Yeah, I do, and he's just playing with all kinds of gears and speed that a lot of people have no understanding of. And he's just making it look easy against some incredible athletes. And he's just changing gears and making people miss and putting the ball in the end zone. And I thought I looked good in 16 as a Hamilton Ticat, but Speedy B, boy, you wore that jersey out while you were here.
They won that game. They went to the Grey Cup. He thought he had the punt return for a touchdown that would have won it for the Ticats over Calgary, but there was a penalty on that play, an infamous moment in the career of Brandon Banks.
Yeah, and Unger.
Hamilton, number 83. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Yeah, he's just a little overzealous here. A little early with his waggle. There's McLeod still trying to get on the same page with Speedy B. Do whatever you got to do, man.
Well, they both admitted it.
Yeah.
They have not been on the same page a lot of the time. They're still getting to know each other.
And I love that. That's communication. You hear about defenders talking about it all the time. Offensively, coaches with their players, coaching them all. All the communication's got to happen 24/7. You see it happening live on the sidelines.
Passing now, completing it to Dunbar on that 1st down and 15, and gets it across the 40.
Yeah, I would just start calling GFOs. Get freaking open for Stephen Dunbar, right? Just isolate him and let him go one-on-one. Make it easy. That guy's a beast. I asked Milt a couple weeks ago, I said, you believe in Dunbar? He says, oh, yeah. Yeah, Milt says he's good. He's good.
Stamp of approval from 85. And flag coming out, too, and some finger pointing. Sam Achimpong.
Procedure. Hamilton, number 64. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Says it's against his guy, Calderwood Manzi, the right guard for the Ticats. So it was already a 2nd and long. We'll call it 2nd and longer now, about 13 yards to go.
Yeah, you just don't realize how big these guys are down on the football field. You know, you look at Wood Manzi, he's 6'5", 325, and Archipong, you talk about a beast. He's 6'5", 275 all day long, and they're just banging heads, locking horns.
And doing it a lot over the next month, by the way. This is game 2 of like 4 and 5 weeks.
You again? Here we go.
Familiarity breeds contempt, to be sure. From the Hamilton 37, 2nd and 13. Well, it's complete, but it's too short. And it'll be a 3rd down. Dunbar again.
Yeah, good fundamentals by Schiltz here, avoiding the rush, sliding to his left, and then finds Stephen Dunbar. And even better fundamentals from the secondary of Toronto, playing everything in front of him and making him punt the football.
They've given the 3-minute warning, and the Argos are going to get the ball back in a 14-14 tie.
Complaints that Farhan Lalji wasn't here and Kate Burness was back. I'm Jermaine Franklin, and I'm going to host the entire thing. Kidding, I'm here. Get out of here, Jermaine.
Hey, Kate, what do you think they said to me when you started hosting back in 2018? I should fill you in on that a little bit. When's Kate coming back? 41-yard punt in the hands of Brandon Banks. So Kate and the panel,
There's
they're coming
some
up.
magic. He gives the ball to our Matthew Schnetti on the sidelines. Speedy B hand delivered that one to Shooter. Yeah, a little old magic right there from 16. Good field position. I'll take that.
Look at Bethel Thompson's numbers. Their biggest play offensively was a pass interference, or excuse me, that was Hamilton's biggest one to get them down close.
I mean, huge, right? First 28 minutes, forget about it. Right here, you go down there and score right before half. You get a lot of momentum. You get the ball in the second half. That is Simone Lawrence saying, "Hello, Hamilton. Remember me?"
Leading tackler in the history of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and in there on A.J. Willett to stop him cold and lost yardage there for the Argos.
Yeah, Simone's right here, and he's going to be in Willett's kitchen sink before he can get started. That's a tackle for a loss. It's getting the job done, forced in 2nd and 13. Simone Lawrence, everybody, been doing it a while.
Missed a month, but came back recently. Ticats glad to have 21 back. 3-man rush now on a 2nd and 13. 3-man rush, and he gets it away to Willett. Bethel Thompson was tied up.
It looked like he was on a ball and chain.
He couldn't go anywhere, but he does get it off to Willett, who doesn't get enough for the first down, but gets it up across the 45.
I mean, you're a defensive tackle or defensive player, period, and you got a quarterback by the ankle, you're starting to worry, right? It's like, I'm not trying to hurt the guy, I'm just trying to tackle the guy. And look, it's like he's trying to steer wrestle him and then tie him up and get his hands in the air and get a time on it. But McLeod Bethel Thompson actually found a receiver and got a few yards.
Dylan Wynn thought he had another sack. Had to wait a bit too long. And this punt, beautifully done inside the 10. Nice punt, Haggerty. Down to the Hamilton 7 with 1:44 in the clock. A 51-yard punt for the Aussie punter of the Argos to have forced the Ticats to start in deep in their own zone.
I can't believe how big punters are these days. I mean, 6'5", 225 pounds. I mean, you got Richie Leone, best in the league, over there in Ottawa. He's 6'4". I mean, big legs, right? The CFL. These guys are amazing to watch live. We're 7 stories high, and the ball's coming up by us.
In the base punting category, he leads the CFL.
Yes.
Over 48. And that's Schultz calling his own number on first down.
And then net punting, tip of the hat goes to Richie Leone. And, that's what you're looking at the end of the day. And Leone's at 39.4 net. And to me, that's after everything in, all in, returns and everything. That's huge when you're at 39.4.
And by the way, that inside the 10, a stat that the CFL keeps, that's the 7th time this season that Haggerty's done it. He leads the CFL ahead of Leone now inside the 10.
That's a great battle to watch if you're a CFL fan into stats.
And it is tipped at the line of scrimmage, and a flag comes out. The intended receiver is Tim White.
Offside. Hamilton number 1. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
So Lamar Durant is called on the offside. And very quickly a 3rd down after the Schultz gain, and the penalty declined.
Yeah, Lamar just hadn't settled in yet, and after coming back, he had a drop early, offsides there. He drew a penalty down deep, and which was huge for the Ticats and got them in scoring position right on the 1-yard line. But yeah, it just hadn't settled in. We know he's got talent, and he could be a huge addition once he gets going with his Ticat offense.
Missed the first 6 games of his Hamilton Tiger Cat career. Had been with the BC Lions before, but signed on, and only 2 weeks ago made his Hamilton debut. So punting it away is Domagala late in this first half.
That's returnable.
And it be in Beatty's range. Banks getting it now to the 45. And we'd like to welcome our viewers, and TSN's 1 and 3 are watching the World Junior Championship Rod Smith, Matt Dunnigan, Matthew Shinetti here in Hamilton for the second game, the second straight week between the Tiger Cats and the Argonauts, and it's a 14-14 tie late in the first half here at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. 1st and 10. A chance to score late, but it's intercepted. The Argos wanted a penalty, and it's Deontay Evans with it to nullify a chance. A challenge flag is out already, and now a late flag comes out as well on this play, as there's a bit of a discussion going on at midfield. But they want the pass interference call, a critical point too in a tie game, and now another late flag comes out as all the talking continues.
Yeah, just get used to this. We got 2.5. When we got 10 more quarters of this, Rod.
Right up through Labor Day Monday.
That's crazy. It's like a heavyweight bout that won't stop. Yeah, Deontay Evans, you know, he had position high and over the top of Speedy B. Watch this. He's there. He's like, yeah, just come on. Yeah, he just kind of jacked him right in the shoulder and stymied. Speedy B just laid there, got up, and with his arms in the air, watch him just push him here. Stops him from his progress down the football field. And then plays the football. No flag came out. Official standing right there. That's Deontay Evans' second pick if it stands on the season.
And there was no flag then, and a challenge flag by Ryan Dinwiddie was quick
really
to come very fast. Before all the other flags, the folks in stripes have been littering the field with yellow flags, all of it, after the play, as discussions continue.
Yeah, get used to this. And then when you have both teams on the sidelines like we do here in the East,
we have 3 misconduct fouls on the play. 2 on Hamilton, 1 on Toronto. Toronto is also challenging for pass interference.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to review the play.
Well, Tom's got a lot to sort through right here. Tom Valesi, our man in the white hat tonight. Great crew on the field. A lot to sort through here.
So he said, and all of these after the play, 2 against the Ticats and 1 against the Argos.
There's a play there. I mean, you can't just throw your hands up if you get contact. You got to keep fighting. If you keep fighting, I think you might get the call. A little bit of a flop there from Speedy B. Deontay says, thank you very much. Says, excuse me, I'll be taking that one the other way.
And it wasn't long after that, the red challenge flag of Ryan Dinwiddie was out.
Yeah, well, you got a good look at it. As did the official right there in front of the play.
Banks has dealt with a lot of emotions this past week, really, facing his old team for the first time last Saturday at BMO and dealing with coming back to his old home at Tim Hortons Field tonight. But eventually all these emotions subside and they got a game to win, and that's a big play.
Yeah, it is. And just because you feel like you've been pass interfered with doesn't mean you stop on the play. Lamar Durant did it earlier. Speedy B does here.
So was it interference after they review? Here's the announcement on that.
After review, we have pass interference. Hamilton, number 7. The ball we spotted at the 22-yard line.
Don't do it.
We then apply a 10-yard penalty.
As announced by the referee, Tom Valesi, so it is PI, and the Argos have the great chance to take the lead to the dressing room.
What were the other 2 flags in the field for? Did you hear that?
The objectionable conduct. So they're still discussing.
They're going to move this up to the 12-yard line. Hamilton's defenders refuse to move.
They don't want to move.
No, we're not going back there.
The added penalty was against the Ticats, so it was the PI, and then they move it to the Hamilton 12. Bottom line is this: we're under a minute to go till halftime. It's 1st and 10, Argos at the Hamilton 12-yard line. in a 14-14 tie. Bethel Thompson runs out of time, but a flag comes out as well.
I got to think this is going to be holding, plus you got a sack. And this is just a nightmare if that holds true for Toronto. Like I said, Rod, you go down here, score touchdowns, take some momentum in half. You won the coin toss.
Major foul, face mask. Toronto number 54.
Man.
That penalty will be applied at the end of the play.
That's Lawrence, the center.
Down.
So Justin Lawrence, the center, is called for the face mask. Micah Johnson.
Yeah, watch him.
Wreaking havoc.
Yeah, here he is. Just watch him continue to push and get to McLeod. Bethel Thompson moving mountains to get there. Literally. Boom. Just rips underneath. Well, that's a nice rip move. Well, he had his mitts on Lawrence, pulled him towards him and ripped right underneath and got to McLeod.
So they're pushed back to the 32 now. More heat coming as he gets it away.
Oh, no, that's automatic first down. Dylan Wynn. That's roughing.
And the flag does come out on Wynn, who pleads his case quickly.
He stapled him. I think he stapled him. That's not allowed in today's game. McLeod's a big quarterback. I told you about that. 6'4", 225.
Roughing the passer. Hamilton, number 98.
Yes.
15-yard penalty.
And you know, we know that Dylan Wynn's motor runs hot, right? He's chopping wood all the time. And he's right here. Dylan Wynn's right there. And you just watch this guy work. And I think what happens is he gets there, he lifts him, and he staples him. Free shot right here. He gets him, lifts him, and he staples him right there with all his weight. And you can't do that. And you know, I love the effort and the hustle. That's automatic first down, and you're still in business if they're trying to Argonauts.
Gets it back to the 17 and a 1st and 10. So back and forth we go, largely because of the flags. And this time it's the Argos after that roughing the passer call.
And A.J. Willett.
Hamilton is challenging the ruling of roughing the passer.
Oh, my
We'll
goodness.
review the play.
This is the half that won't end quickly.
Well, you know, these coaches are going to get involved, and this has been a game of field position. Defenses have tightened up in the red zone. Field goal kickers have been working overtime. Punters been working overtime. Cover teams have been all over the place. But I think this is, yeah, and here's Dillon right here, second from the top. He's going to make a nice move in here. He's got a free shot towards McLeod Bethel Thompson. Boom. Unabated, basically. And then he lifts him and he buries him. And back in the day, Rod, that's just a great play.
That used
We're
to be
kicking
allowed.
field goals now, and Hamilton's got the football, you know, trying to put points on the board and go to the half. But now it's a challenge because the letter of the law says you can't put a finger on a quarterback these days. I'm with you, Dylan, but that's not the game we're
So
playing.
you didn't like it. Dylan doesn't like it. The fans don't like it. Orlando Steinauer did, and he challenged. What of the challenge?
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Oh, yeah. we're not even halfway through, Rod, of the second game. We got 2 more of these next 3 weeks.
Argos, Ticats, round 2, and this is where we're at right now.
Oh, boy, he's jacked up now.
They're fired up.
Oh, I love it.
It's getting angrier now. It's a 14-14 tie. Under a minute to go still in this first half. End zone look. Bethel Thompson, no.
I don't think Brissett ever saw the football.
Dejon Brissett, the intended receiver, and no, it just
I don't think he ever saw the football.
far ahead of him.
I think he was running his route, and I'm not sure if he ever located the football or knew it was coming his way. McLeod tries to lift it in the back corner of the end zone. They're 20 yards deep here, a lot of room to work with. Oh, yeah, he just couldn't get there. He saw it, just overthrown. 2nd and 10, huge play right here.
Can they get a touchdown before halftime? This is 2nd down. Hamilton 17, 41 on the clock. Shorter pass to Ambles. Gets it down to about the 13, and that'll set up a 3rd down and Boris Beatty to come on. And the Argos are hoping now for a 3-point lead at the half.
And McLeod's got to get off of that. Pressure came from the short side. He looked short side. Actually had more space and one-on-one opportunities to the field, but he stayed short side, got locked in to the ball, and his easy play in front and come up and tackle for Hamilton.
Third field goal try for Beatty, who's 2 for 2. Haggerty will put it down just beyond the 19 to give the Argos the lead again. Flags falling as the ball falls as it went through the uprights again. Wait for it. And it was 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. And
I can see
is this
Javon
going against
Santo-Knox is not happy. He's feeling like it's going against his football team.
Hamilton, number 11, pyramiding.
Oh man, that's
the
automatic
distance.
first down.
It'll be a first down.
So Cameron Kelly ruled to the pyramiding, jumping up on a teammate to see if they could block the kick.
I don't see Cam in the picture. I'm sure there he is. Well, he just jumped up.
Jumped up in some Argos.
Yeah, he just jumped up. And it was Calver, Brandon Calver from Wilfrid Laurier, who just kind of caught him in the air. He was just using his athletic ability, and Calver just stood up and he caught his knee into his shoulder pass. And I don't see pyramiding there, Rod. That's when you use your own player to launch yourself high. He just jumped up and the defender caught him.
What a bizarre ending to this half. Still going Argos. A look into the end zone. Touchdown Toronto. Tavares Daniels.
That's huge for Toronto, but if I'm a Ticats fan, I'm going to the concession stand, grabbing a couple and pounding them because I'm not happy.
This is just a drive that wouldn't stop. So many penalties, weird plays, and it ends with this.
Tavares Daniels, just the 2nd touchdown of the year. 28th of his career.
The last time the Argos played here was Thanksgiving Monday last year, and Daniels got the winning touchdown. Toronto came back in that game, or got the go-ahead touchdown at the time, and Beatty won it with a field goal. But Daniels has fond memories of playing here at Tim Hortons Field, capping off a 7-play drive that just seemed to take a whole lot longer than that.
Yeah, it did.
Just kept going. So Beatty does get a kick, not a field goal, but a point after. And he's good. And so 12 seconds after all of this, 12 seconds to go till halftime. And the Argos do have the lead, 21-14. A frustrating last few minutes, especially for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And Cameron Kelly called for pyramiding, which took away a field goal try and gave the Argos a 1st and goal.
Yeah, the rule simply says that you can't use your teammate or an opponent to get yourself higher. And you watch right here. Cam jumps. He's already in the air, and he gets blocked. I don't think he's trying to launch himself off of Calver. Calver just kind of caught him, and he goes straight down.
And
I don't agree with that call.
He jumped.
Yes.
He didn't step on an opponent to jump higher.
He didn't do that. But regardless, that drive finally ends in a touchdown.
And Lawrence Woods to take it out, and he is taken down. Woods gets it out to the 20, so 7 seconds to go. Bottom line is this: Daniels does get the touchdown, his 2nd this season, and the Argos get the 7-point lead.
Tavares Daniels, 6-year player from Notre Dame. Just, I mean, he starts catching fire. Speedy B starts catching fire. We get Cam Phillips back. Kenton starts doing his thing on a consistent basis. See what Harris is about. Now, Toronto's got a lot of weapons. Definitely a lot of weapons to work with. I look at the roster, Rod, and I see potential, Grey Cup potential, just with their talent alone.
And that's Andrew Harris leaving early, Cam Phillips not being able to play. And on the Daniels touchdown and a bizarre ending to the first half, Argos lead by 7. Let's go back to Kate.
Well, we're all pumped up to party, and we're ready for a fight. Come on, kick back, relax, watching Friday Night Football. Boys, it's been bad playing CFL football. Game is up for grabs. It's Friday Night Football tonight.
Halftime of this Friday nighter in Hamilton, the Argos are leading the Ticats by a touchdown. Here's Matthew Shinetti now with Hamilton receiver Stephen Dunbar.
Stephen, needless to say, that was an eventful way to end a half. What was the messaging in the locker room, knowing the emotions were starting to rise a little bit?
Just we beating ourselves, man. We making a lot of costly mistakes that's causing us and putting us in bad positions. So eventually, the message was just stop beating ourselves, man. Stop playing cleaner football and just execute our job. And I think we'll come out on the right side of it.
What do you think when you take a look at executing your jobs, everyone doing their 1/12 on offense, how do you build momentum?
Just stacking plays together, just not getting behind the chains. Like I said, making stupid penalties and hurting ourselves. If we stay in front of the chains, it's just stay, find a rhythm on offense and do what we got to do on defense. Like I said, we'll find a way to win.
Appreciate this.
Yes, sir.
Dunbar, 3 catches, leading receiver for Hamilton in yards. But yes, Orlando Steinauer's team has some work to do now as the second half gets underway, and it's the Argos who will have the ball first. They had deferred to take it here. On the return, it's Curly Gittins. Gets up near the 40 and across, and a good place to start for McLeod, Bethel, Thompson, Matty. What a way to end that first half. It was crazy for the Argos. The PI helped.
Yeah, and quickly, Ryan Dinwiddie, we saw the challenge flag here. You can't staple and put your total body weight on the quarterback. That's an easy one for the officials. We got pyramiding, which we didn't see up here. And then they capitalized. Tavares Daniels is in the end zone. That's, you know, it's a tough way to end a half if you're Hamilton Tiger Cat. And if you're a Toronto Argonaut, it's like, heck yeah, we got the ball in the second half. Let's roll.
Saw Craig Butler, the special teams coordinator of Hamilton, objecting that pyramiding call. So it starts in the hands of A.J. Willett. Javon Santos knocks the middle linebacker in on the tackle. Willett, their feature running back now that Andrew Harris, in case you missed it, left with an injury to the right side.
And he better not show any signs of wear and tear here. No, ain't nobody. Don't look over your shoulder. Don't put it on Declan Cross. I know Declan Cross would love that opportunity.
Well, they do also have the rookie, Dan Adebayo.
That's right. Kid from Bryant University. But I'll tell you what, you're looking to give Torsten a mouth. You got an opportunity to get all the touches here in the second half.
Some pressure coming. Bethel Thompson gets it away. The coverage is there by Roll on Brandon Banks.
You see, I think it's tough to get a throw behind with Brandon Banks because he's so small and he can get bodied by the defender like you see here. And you know, I think Roll just simply just stand there, and Speedy B's not going to go high point it because he's so small. And it's over the top or underneath stuff that you got to get with Speedy B. And again, you see the McLeod Bethel Thompson and his star acquisition in the offseason not on the same page.
Banks still without a catch in this game. A big return by Lawrence Woods again, who does get pushed out of bounds. He had a 47-yard return that helped set up the Ticats for a field goal in the first half, and another one there to give Matthew Schultz a better place to start.
Yeah, Rodney comes into this game second in the CFL in combined yards, just a few behind Jamal Morris from Saskatchewan, who does it all for the Riders. This guy continues to impress, man. 13.8-yard average in the CFL. He's adding to that tonight. That's #1 in the league. He's adding that to. He's adding the total. Excuse me. He's adding to that total tonight.
We have a quarterback change for Hamilton too. Matthew Schultz went 11 for 15 for 92 yards, no touchdowns and a pick, giving way to Jamie Newman to start this second half. Newman, first reps as a quarterback, other than the short yardage for the touchdown which he had earlier, and handing off to Don Jackson. So Matthew Schultz, have a look at him there, who started this game, his first start for the Ticats this season after the injury to Dane Evans last week.
Yeah, he's got, I mean, those aren't coaches around him. That's medical staff. And that's got to be bothersome to Tommy Condell, offensive coordinator, and the Hamilton Ticats coaches when Newman's had limited time to get reps during practice because you know Schultz is taking all those.
So thrown into the action and taking off and running is Jamie Newman.
Yeah.
Josh Haggerty in there. Argo safety. And a first down on the ground for the Ticats.
You want some more. You want some more. This is straight up. ISO, let's go. Get you some. Don. McManus just kind of bounced off of Don Jackson's attempt and block, and Newman was already past him and came back, and Newman wanted some more. McManus, I love it. Young quarterback. Wake Forest saying, hello, CFL.
Hello, Newman. I had to. I just had to.
I teed you up right. You don't hit that one, man. Something's wrong.
And he hands off again, so keeping it on the ground. Newman saying hello to the CFL as they say hello to him. And a gain of 6 yards there. Newman has 2 touchdowns, short yardage. He has not, as of yet, thrown a pass in his young CFL career. And remember David Watford last year, Matty?
Yeah.
After injuries to Jeremiah Masoli and Dane Evans.
That's right.
Got a few starts. He won 2 of his 3 starts.
Yeah, and played things very close to the vest. High percentage throws, play action, hit back out of flat, never really pushed the ball down the field, didn't turn it over, and won football games.
And taking off again, so they just call his number, and he needed about 3 yards, and it looks like he has it, or very close to it. Yes, indeed. First down. Ticats on the ground.
Yeah, he is a big boy from Wake Forest. 6'4", 230, and this is all designed. Just follow some big bodies. Well, it's a nice job of the big boys up front, getting it done, pushing them, rooting them out of the way.
Jamie Newman thrust into the action here with an injury to Matthew Schultz, who got the start because of an injury to Dane Evans.
Yeah, he's looking like he's going to throw this one, yelling at his receivers. 1st and 10 and a 37.
Little play fake, and here we go. CFL pass number 1 is complete. The Don Jackson down at the 35. He is escorted out there by Jamal Peters.
But just to call the play and to get the people in the right position and then go through the motions and actually complete the pass. I mean, it's a big deal. That's a big deal for a guy that didn't have a lot of reps, and just verbalizing plays. Tommy Condell, offensive coordinator, got his job cut out for him the rest of the way here right now, trying to get this guy locked and loaded and productive, and doing a nice job of keeping it on the ground there. 2nd and 8, see what he's got.
So first pass, the short one is complete. Lower body injury to Matthew Schultz. We'll keep you posted, but gone to the dressing room to get more attention on that 2nd down and long, and he does take off facing the heat and pushes his way down inside the 30. It'll be a 3rd down. It will be short, but certainly in field goal range now. You know, our longtime producer John Hines is in my ear right now saying that was me during my rookie training camp in Edmonton. Just drop back, have no idea what I'm looking at, pull it down and make something happen. And
does that ring a bell with you?
What was, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. Yeah. Like I always say, people know I take shots at myself. It took me about 8 years to figure out how to read a defense. You did okay, Mr. Hall of Famer. I'm just saying that it takes time, right? Those were design runs by Newman there and Tommy Condell, and put themselves in a field goal situation here. Seth, see what he's got. Katy, Texas product from Texas A&M's, 9 of 10 on the year. And his longest came in the first half from 43. He puts that one through as well. So having a perfect night, 3 on the board, cutting into that Argo lead. Hamilton now trailing by 4. Music takes me right back to the 90s. 25 years of Friday Night Football and our favorite game show, Maddie. Friday Night Football Trivia. Who won the first Argos Ticats Friday Night Football game? You got a 50-50 chance, don't you? You do. So you think about that now. Little play fake to A.J. Willett now. Bethel Thompson. Deep ball nearly intercepted by Cameron Kelly. Covering Tavares Daniels. That close to a pick.
Yeah, he drops back, and he is the man deep. Tunde Adeleke is covering a man out of the backfield, and Kelly is over the top, all over DeVaris Daniels. Almost one-hands it for his 4th interception of the season. Ball had to have been perfectly placed, a little overthrown, and Kelly was Johnny on the spot.
That closed to interception number 4 in the season. The Argos are 4 for 12 in the night on second down conversions. Got a 2nd and 10 here from their 40, leading only by 4 now.
Oh, wide open.
Getting it away, wide open receiver, and look who it is, the former Cat, Brandon Banks, getting his first catch. Had the PI called on one when he was intended receiver. Yeah, and that one a gain of 14.
Yeah, Rod, nearly a rush 4 here, and McLeod's got a nice pocket to work in, and Speedy B sits down on the zone, a little curl route, and he dots him and moves the sticks.
He and Bethel Thompson in sync on that play, and a first down. The most outstanding player in the CFL in 2019 is a member of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Brandon Banks. Play fake, off to the right ambles, and shy of midfield. Next to nothing, maybe nothing at all for the Argos on that play, 2nd down.
Tunde Adeleke does a great job of reading this. Watch him right here coming downhill. He's reading the mail of Toronto Argonauts, and no way are they getting this off. He just undercuts everything, is right there, and takes Ambles down for a loss or no gain on the play.
The Argos converted that last 2nd and long. They have another one here from their 54. Bethel Thompson. Oh, Daniels comes back, turns around, gets more. DeVaris Daniels. Great work after the catch, as the Argos are in business now. Another first down in the Hamilton zone.
Did he know what he was doing, or is he making that up on the fly? That was a beautiful throw, first and foremost. Watch this. You see the tail end of this. Ball's beautifully thrown right in front of Simone Lawrence, makes him miss. Nice move there, makes him miss. And he almost outruns Carriel Brooks for an angle. Tunde there to force him out of bounds. Nice play by DeVaris Daniels.
A gain of 23 to get it down to the 33 of the Cats. And Lawrence, you saw him on that play, and has taken a knee.
You got to think you don't want to trade field goals here. Certainly Hamilton had to settle for one on that drive with Newman. If I'm Toronto, I'm thinking we get the ball in the end zone somehow here. We'll take control of this football game.
And Simone Lawrence, who missed a month, just came back a couple of weeks ago and injured again, helped off the field.
Yeah, he just lets his legs go right. Oh no.
Non-contact injury as he favors his leg. Back to live action now.
That could be a number of things there, Rod. That's scary to watch.
Well, the Ticats, I mean, every team has, but the Ticats have certainly had their share of injury concern, especially lately. Braylon Addison last week lost for the season, and 2 quarterbacks now out, and Simone Lawrence getting attention.
Yeah, I was saying Braylon Addison was becoming Nick Dembski for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, just a guy that was doing everything for him. And Brandon, I hope you're feeling better. Get well soon.
Yeah, devastating. He had 3 catches, 52 yards before he got hurt last week in the first half. Bethel Thompson, and it's complete to Curly Gittens. Takes it down at the 15. Gittens with the catch. Finally, his first one of the night. He's the leading receiver of the Argos coming into this game.
Yeah, I think the most definitive throw of McLeod Bethel Thompson tonight, with Kelly in his face, just throws a dart to Gittens. Tough catch over the middle with Evans in his hip pocket. Big time first down right there.
Since I mentioned the Argos struggles in second down, they've gone 3 for 3. A second down in this drive. First and 10 now, Hamilton 15. Willett with it. Julian Hauser has him all tied up for a loss of a couple of yards.
Yeah, we're talking about Curly Gittens, who's coming into the zone this year. Another player from where, Rod?
Wilfrid Laurier University.
That's right. I'm telling you, they love their Wilfrid Lauriers. And Curly Gittens, the top Canadian receivers this year, and he's adding to that here. Yeah, Wolotarski's starting to come into his zone. Javonka Toy's kind of settled down. Nate Bahar is a second down conversion expert. this guy can do it all, Rod.
8th play, Matty, of this drive. Longest of the night. It's 2nd and 11. Bethel Thompson, no. Wanted Banks. Evans was there. Falls incomplete. And it's 3rd down, and the field goal unit is coming out.
You know, when you're starting running back for a football team at the professional level, you have to come in here, you have to do some blocking too. It's exactly what A.J. does here. Willett does his job. He's found it tough sledding since coming in for Andrew Harris on the run after that big long gainer, his first touch, but ever since then, he's been kind of shut down the run game, but big time block there to let his quarterback have an opportunity downfield.
Boris Beatty, the kicker. John Haggerty, the holder. They have a new long snapper for this game, Maxime Latour, and everything seems to go just fine as they put it through and restore their 7-point lead with Jake Reinhardt injured and out. Latour comes in. Important thing, long snapping. They get that field goal. Argos by 7. Friday Night Football trivia was, as Matt Dunnigan said, you had a 50-50 crack at it here. Who won the first Argos Ticats Friday Night Football game, Matty?
Yeah, I'm going with Danny Mack. I'm all in on Mack. Danny Mack.
October 23rd, 1998. The Ticats went to the Grey Cup that year, and they destroyed the Argos 45-8. The Argos were the 2-time defending champs, but they had a lot of change, including Doug Flutie heading off to Buffalo.
It was only fair to get Danny Mack in there because we saw him throwing a pick.
Absolutely.
To Adrian Smith.
Yeah, you're right. We did from back in his Edmonton days in '96, but
yeah,
what a quarterback he was too, and an old teammate of yours.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, just a gun. He's all like gunslinger. It's unbelievable.
That's from Gerald Vaughn with the interception there of Kerwin Bell.
Yeah.
And
that was O'Shea chasing him 56.
Yeah. So then more here. Mike Morreale.
Yeah, look at that.
And that was Ron Lancaster, the head coach of that team in '98. They went to the Grey Cup in Winnipeg and lost to the Calgary Stampeders. And the two met again the next year, and Hamilton did win it the last time they won the Cup. Great team, and they did win the first meeting with the Argos on a Friday night in TSN. Jamie Newman, the quarterback for Hamilton, looking to throw it deep. Goes to the natural instincts of running, which he does well, but nowhere really to run there on that 2nd down play. And with that, a 2-and-out for the Ticats under Newman, and they'll have to punt it away.
Enoch Mwamba is all over that, and I think he's got a beat on that young man's resume. Rookie, can't read a defense. It's going to pull it down and run a lot.
So the Ticats up against it with the rookie QB. 3rd stringer, pressure's coming. They got close. A flag comes out too, as Brandon Banks has it in his hands at the 30. But will Hamilton's possession continue now? With a roughing the kicker call, flag coming out.
Yeah, they had a block on, and they didn't get it, and momentum took them into Domagala. And
major foul, roughing the kicker. Toronto number 25, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Eli Menser is called. They brought the heat. They were very close to blocking it.
Yeah, Eli's going to come right up the middle too, and they had success last week, turned the game around, and there you can see him taking out his plant leg, and that's a no-no.
Last week, Matty, you talked about it. Trevor Hoyt with the block and a Domagala punt, and Benoit Mario's not in the lineup tonight. Scooped it up, took it in for the touchdown that helped the Argos win.
Yeah, and absolutely game changer right there.
So the penalty keeps the drive going. Newman across midfield, calls his number. He's done a lot of that since getting into the game. Enoch Mwamba there for him again as he picks up a couple of yards.
Talked to Mickey Donovan before the ball game, their special teams coordinator, and I congratulated him. He says, "Oh yeah, the guys did a great job." I said, "I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to the guys. You know, hey, tip of the cap, man. You work a long time to find little cracks in the crevices and something to attack, and you found it, and you puppeteered your guys to a game-changing play. Good on you."
There's Mickey, special teams coordinator, but
yeah,
yet Trevor Hoyt, graduate of the Carleton Ravens, and it was a Ravens punter, Michael Domagala, Had that punt blocked. Here we go. He gets it away, completes it across the 50, so a short gain.
Who's there?
And,
Who's tossing him around back in the backfield like he's nothing? Enoch Mwamba.
Enoch coming in again.
McManus. Told you, if you just watch Enoch McManus, they're going to get after it and you're going to have a good time. He's coming right here. He's going to force the issue. Don Jackson didn't want any part of him. He said, no. Ole, 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 ole.
With McManus. And now it's Brandon Banks. The punt return and nowhere to go as he's out of bounds inside the 10. McLeod Bethel Thompson, the Argo offense, back in the field in what's been a beautiful night here at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. Back after this on Friday Night Football. The Ticats have had a lot of bad news in the injury front, and this wasn't looking good either. Simone Lawrence, you see on that play, non-contact injury and covering DeVaris Daniels, and needed help getting off the field, and you wonder, geez, is it happening again to the Ticats? But Simone Lawrence, after that, is back in this game, Matty.
Yeah, tough ball player. And it looked like he grabbed his hammy, back of his leg after that injury. And hopefully it was just a tweak, or he'll be fine, but he's out there.
In his 10th year and just about his entire career spent with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, their all-time leading tackler.
Saw a couple of young lads coming up the elevator. I was coming up to the box earlier today, and they had 21 jerseys on, new gray look. Matt Gray.
On the 2nd and 6, it's to Daniels. That was after a 4-yard carry by A.J. Willett. Daniels gets it, and enough for the first down across the 20 for the Argos.
Yeah, coming right at you. Cloud's view, plants his leg, timing route. Nothing Leonard could do about that.
Just
Daniels. Make the tackle. Right?
Yeah, he had the touchdown right at the end of the first half after a bizarre drive by the Argos, aided by a lot of penalties that gave them the lead that they have held since. By 7. Last play of the quarter, and Evans jumped in front of Brandon Banks. Another close call for Seontae Evans, but good coverage there and his old teammate.
Seontae Evans, wise old veteran back there covering it. Wise old veteran coming up with a big play.
So that is 3-quarter time. The Argos led by a touchdown to start, and they still lead by 7 here on Friday Night Football. The story of the third quarter, well, the Ticats, Matty, still trailed Toronto by 7, but Matthew Schultz was injured and didn't play at all. It was Jamie Newman who went 2 for 4 for 4 yards.
Yeah, and a tough spot for Jamie Newman coming in a situation like that, because you know that his reps were very sparse throughout the course of the week, as Schultz had to get all those to get up to speed. Then suddenly you're in the lineup, and Tommy Condell did the best he could with a young quarterback. He touched the ball several times on the ground and moved the sticks and got them in the field position to kick a field goal, keep this thing tight. Now the defense got to do their job. Maybe a pick 6 here, tie this thing up. But I think Schultz will be back for the fourth quarter.
And apologies, Jamie Newman, 2 for 2 for 4 yards, but did more on the ground and did lead them to a field goal drive. So it begins, fourth quarter, into the hands of DeVaris Daniels, who wanted a flag, and he got one.
Yeah, but who's it on? Is it on Carriel Brooks or DeVaris?
Pass interference. Hamilton, number 26. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
He caught the ball, didn't need the penalty anyway.
Yeah, DeVaris is really tough to the football, and as a quarterback, it's what you're looking for all the time. People are working hard back to it. It's your rock or nobody else's. It's your meal ticket, is what we used to always say. And DeVaris Daniels is having him a nice little football game when production is sparse for the Toronto passing game right now. There's Willett. Got a nice hole to work with.
He does. A.J. Willett in for the injured Andrew Harris.
Yeah, you know, A.J., he's a big body. You know, he goes about 220. 5'11", about 220, and he's coming downhill, and Simone's thinking, I'm going to go low on this guy. and there's like 700 plus tackles right there, and doesn't get that one. Kind of a speed bump.
Sets up Willett again, or just a keeper here by McLeod Bethel Thompson on the second and very short. Doesn't get much there.
That did not look like McLeod's. He needs to go to sneak school. Chuck Climbing and I have had sneak school going for many years, and I think he's our next scholarship award winner.
I seem to recall you and Jock in the studio for many years, trying to sign people up for the sneak school.
Yeah, it's just, he'll learn from this. She's not pretty. Just got to get low. Might want to get your head up.
Well, you know what? He didn't get enough. So it's third down and about a foot. And Haggerty is coming out. Ryan Dinwiddie taking no chances. This is a very short distance they need.
And McLeod's not happy coming off the sidelines, giving his coach an earful, saying that he wants to go for it.
He's hearing about it, but third and, as I say, maybe a foot and a half. Haggerty's coming on anyway. They have the 7-point lead. They want to protect, and they're just going to punt it away.
It's been that type of game, though. The punt units, cover units. It's been a game of field position, field goal kickers, and hats off to the special team coordinators and teams that are earning their money tonight.
Argos taking no chances with that touchdown lead into the hands of Lawrence Woods. Punt of 46 yards. He's bouncing on tackles. Here goes Woods again. Haggerty's chasing him again. He gets around. A flag comes out. Lawrence Woods, nonetheless, can make big things happen. But is this one coming back? The CFL's leading returner.
Holding Hamilton, number 6.
And they got Micah Johnson on the hold. It's coming back. Micah Johnson, watch number 6, right there to help spring Lawrence Woods loose. On what was already a tremendous return. Nullified Hamilton ball, but much further.
Well, Micah Johnson's getting his first taste of gone right here, and I don't see the hold there. He's on Robbie Smith. No rest for the weary. You got a 9-year player, Micah Johnson, on return teams, working his tail off downfield, and gets flagged and takes one off the board for.
And Matthew Schultz comes back in his first action of the second half. He missed the whole third quarter and hit there by Jamal Peters.
Yeah, and it's Dylan Wynn and Micah Johnson going at it. They're excited. Look at them. They're just talking it out. That's all they're doing. It's just a nice, simple conversation there between Dylan Wynn and Micah Johnson. Micah Johnson's 285 pounds, 6'2", 9-year veteran from Kentucky, working his tail off this football game.
So, on second down, that's up across.
There they are.
Right near midfield. Yeah, this conversation's still going on. 2 angry tackles right now, but a couple of calls they don't agree with. And it's a first down on that completion for the Ticats.
That's a whole lot of time right there spent in the weight room between those two guys.
You bet. Dylan Wynn frustrated in the first half for a roughing the passer call against him, and upset as well on that holding call against Micah Johnson.
Imagine the guy that you look up and your responsibility is number 6 on punt return. It's like, what? Me?
Dunbar had the catch for the first down, so they go back to the ground. Schultz back in this game. The ball carrier, Tim White.
See him doing that. They're trying to get something going. Mix it up a little bit. That's not bad. Get you half. 2nd and 5, you can deal with that. Good to see Schultz back in there.
In what has been his first start, he's been involved in the offense, both as a quarterback with Dane Evans out there using 2 QBs. Tommy Condell has been very creative with them both out there. He caught a pass from Evans last week.
A 2 quarterback system has been, drew him off sides. Nice long count there.
And was it Jagarrett Davis of the Argos, who certainly knows this place well, a star here in the last couple of years for Hamilton?
You know, I like it. You know, Looking back at that game last night,
second down.
Montreal was all over Zach Calera, sacked him 5 times. And, you know, anything you can do offensively as a quarterback. And Matthew Schultz there used long count. And, you know, first downs, long counts, a lot of times hurry up can get defenses off balance. And Jaguar Davis got caught there.
Well, actually, Matty, it's against the Ticats. Calderwood Manzi gets called. They called procedure. Fans didn't like that. So that puts them back to the original line of scrimmage back at the 50. So no, what looked like early movement by the Argos, saying they were drawn.
Doesn't change the thought process. I'd be mixing it up here against this Argo D.
Second down and 10. Deep look. Schultz. And it's caught by White. He breaks free. He breaks free for a Hamilton touchdown. 60 yards. And the Ticats a point away from tying it again.
Rodney, this is what you got to do. You got to give your receiver a chance. And Tim White, and this is what Schultz does. He launches it, gives his receiver an opportunity, and Tim breaks the tackles in the end zone. So all that conversation between Dylan Wynn and Micah Johnson, they can get on the same page now and get his defensive stop because offense got in the end zone. Very close to tying this back up.
Matthew Schultz comes back in at quarterback and leads a 5-play, 70-yard drive. A 60-yard touchdown strike to Tim White. And the point after from Seth Small is through. Tim White, third touchdown of the season. Something to celebrate, too, because once again, we got a tie game. Fourth quarter, 24-24.
Yeah, Tim White right here. He's going to get down the football field and watch what he does when he gets to about 40-yard line. He's going to stick the post move for some reason, but the DB's still high and inside. So just keep going down the football field. Just keep going this way. You don't need to stick it and go this way right back into him. Quarterback should see that, but Tim White sticks it. Ball's a little underthrown. He makes a great play in the football and finds the end zone. Regardless of how he ran that route, it worked out tremendously for the Ticats.
And we got a brand new game because of it. Curly Gittins on the kick return. Flags coming out as Gittins is taken down right at the 40. Tim White.
You know,
during the return, holding, Toronto number 44, 10-yard penalty.
Hey, I tell you what, special teams have been a big factor in this football game throughout. But I applaud these officials for doing what they're doing right now because, like we've talked about, this is just about halfway through this 4-game set between these two teams in 5 weeks. And if you don't keep a close eye on them, it could get ugly in a hurry. And, yeah, it's tough sometimes to see all these flags coming out, but you got to police them because they will get off script in a heartbeat.
Well, if they didn't know each other very well before this season, in a little less than 2 games, they know each other really well now. Tie game from the 28, Bethel Thompson, and that is incomplete by the looks of things. Declan Cross, the intended receiver. No, they ruling it a catch. Yes, they are.
And McLeod Bethel Thompson got happy feet in there. Wasn't any pressure on him, but he just had all kinds of time, and he was looking around, anticipating somebody coming off their block, and nobody did. And finally, he just dumped it down and didn't set his feet. Declan had to make a surface catch for 5 yards.
Right up across the Toronto 32, second down now.
Pressure.
They got some heat coming, but he has time to get it away near the first down marker. Right at it or a little bit shy for Curly Gittins. See where they spot the ball.
I bet he's about a football shy. Yeah, it's a crazy, strong throw because he's late, right? This is not timing. He's late.
And once again, the punting unit is coming on. Very similar spot as before.
This is third and like
even less. This would be about a foot. And Ryan Dinwiddie not taking any chances. Now, bear in mind the flip side of this, although they're switching up again now.
Change your mind. You're allowed.
I was going to say, when you manage risk, the last time they did this, Lawrence Woods took it to the house, but there was a penalty, but they were that close to getting burned.
And then Woodmansey took a procedure call, which backed him up, and then Shields found White for a long touchdown.
So Chad Kelly, the backup quarterback who was a touchdown earlier in this game, is there. It is 3rd and about a foot.
Yeah, at least Ryan Dinwiddie's got Kelly out there, because we saw that McLeod's still got time in sneak school.
That previous set of downs, Bethel Thompson on a 2nd down and a less than a yard, couldn't get it.
Gotta have it here.
And on the 3rd and short, they punted. This time they're going for it. Inside their 40, Kelly.
Oh, what's he doing?
Right
Going
side.
sideways.
Cuts it up and does get it, though.
Oh, man.
Matt Dunnigan didn't like it, but it does end up in a 1st down at the 40 for the Argos as Bethel Thompson will come back in.
I got my hands on my knees up here in the booth, man, going, whoa. He's going sideline to sideline. It's like, just go north-south, follow them big boys. Man.
Hey, it worked, though.
They wanted nothing to do with Dylan Wynn or Micah Johnson in the middle. Said, no, we're going outside. Buffalo girls go outside, around the outside, around the outside.
Buffalo area guy.
That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
There you go. Again,
You're teeing me up. 1st down. So Kelly's had Bethel Thompson back in. And that's A.J. Willett. And picks up maybe a couple of yards. 10th carry for Willett since coming in late in the 1st quarter for Andrew Harris.
It has been tough sledding. He's had 2 big runs that broke. Everything else has been tackles for losses with no gains. It's been tough sledding for that run game, Toronto Argonauts. Yeah, Ice is going to be his friend after this game.
10 carries, 47 yards. There's Andrew Harris. Injury to his right side arm area. Leaving late in the 1st quarter. 2nd and 9. Argos at their 41. Off to the left. It's complete. It's knocked out. Cariel Brooks on the coverage. And great coverage it was in Tavares Daniels.
Just didn't give up on it. Tavares has got his 2 big mitts on it. And Cariel's right there. And wouldn't let him secure the rock and pull it in close to him. And right there, he gets there and knocks it away. It's a big breakup right there.
Which leads us to an obvious punting situation now for Haggerty and the Argos. Haggerty standing inside their 30. And Woods, ever dangerous, standing back at around his 12. What might have been, it was so close, a holding call on Micah Johnson. He'd already had it up to midfield on that return. He is a game breaker. And it looked like they had him on that last one. Found his way through. This time takes it at the 25. And on the short side, nowhere to run. Good coverage there. It's Joshua Haggerty, backup safety in there on teams for the tackle. Daniels thought he had it. Brooks thought otherwise. Incomplete. Tiger Cat ball. Tie game.
I've been waiting for you to do something. Do something? Boy, you must not know my name.
I've never pushed myself this far in my life, and it's paying off, man. Let me tell you.
Hey, we're about to get this back and go get a touchdown. Get it through your heads. Hey, get it through your heads. We're about to go down and score, all right?
CFL Wired Wednesday, 7 Eastern. How's that for a segue?
Really?
For the last possession for Matthew Schultz.
That's incredible. That's the magic of John Hines and Don Landis.
The last time they had it, they went down and scored a touchdown, and the heat is coming. Wynton McManus finishes off what Jagarrett Davis started. Now that pressure on Schultz, and down he goes for a loss.
Yeah, if you're still watching 48, you got a big smile on your face. Yeah, this is, yeah, he's right here. He's going to come around the edge. He's going to start it here, and Wynton's going to finish it. Get there, follow him. It's a little trailer, and then just ragdoll him. That's just crazy. That's fun to watch. You don't have to just watch ball all the time. You pick a player out and just have a blast watching a game of football. Wynton McManus, amazing athlete, having a year for the Argonauts.
He's pointing back at that nameplate. Remember that name.
Wow.
But what about the play earlier by Jagarrett Davis when he went high on Bethel Thompson?
There's a penalty on the play.
So they are calling a penalty on this. Have another look, Matty.
Yeah, Jagarrett Davis right here. He's going to get his hands up in the face of the right tackle, Colin Kelly. Oh, no, his face mask. There's a face mask on the quarterback, and then Winton's going to get a penalty.
So just the face mask
on Jagarrett Davis, Rodney.
We got early movement. The right tackle there is the aforementioned Colin Kelly after they picked up 15 on the penalty to get up to the 48.
Hamilton number 69. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So a couple of penalties. They moved ahead 15 and now they're going to move 5 yards back.
Yeah, Kelly got a penalty there, a little procedure call. And so Jagarrett Davis got his hands on the quarterback's face. They called that. I thought they might have called Wynton McManus for ragdolling the quarterback there and just whipping and throwing him around like a sack of potatoes.
Instead, the one call, and what looked initially like a sack of Bethel Thompson. And he's now facing a 1st and 15, or excuse me, Matthew Schultz for Hamilton. And throwing and completing across midfield. Keandre Smith near the first down, too. They needed 15 yards. Smith with his 4th catch.
A beautiful throw. Has some pressure. And yeah, just going to get up in here and sit down, and the ball's going to be thrown with timing. Watch Schultz rope this there. Rope it right behind his ear. Nice spot of football right there. Good on both ends. Offensive line got it done. Schultz threw a strike, and Smith put him in 2nd and short.
Big package in now. Jamie Newman in. First down and more for Newman. Still going down to the 25 inside. Schultz came back as the quarterback, but Newman still having an impact in this offense on a big carry of 29 yards on that 2nd and short.
And Jamie Newman's finding out things happen quickly down here, as he well knows when he runs the unit. He bobbled the snap there. Buffalo girls will go around the outside again for the quarterbacks on these short yardage situations. And he's protecting his meal ticket right there as he's scooting down the football field. Huge first down for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, knocking on the door, 24-24.
They're down to the Argo 23. Big swing here. Hamilton on the ground still. Sean Thomas Earlington. 5. Touchdown, Ticats. Was the first carry for Sean Thomas Earlington in this game. And he takes it in for 6. And what did Matthew Schultz say in CFL Wired?
We'll take this in. Stay with us. We're going to take this in.
They did
exactly
again.
What they do. Watch these guys work right here. They're going to seal it here, and they're going to seal it out here. Everybody does their job. And then, boom, out the gate.
Touchdown, Thomas Earlington. Point after. Seth Small. The Ticats trailed. And so many times in the second half, they've had the lead, only to see it disappear. Opposite scenario taking place now. They were down 7. And with this carry by Sean Thomas Earlington, the Tiger Cats in the 4th quarter are up 7.
Hey, Rod, you got Oakman here. He's got a stun on, but watch the big boys up front. Watch them work and get to second level. And Kelly's going to kick out, and STE's off to the races. Boom, Oakman just kind of eliminates himself. Revenberg seals it, and look at that lane, baby. That is pay dirt right there, and STE's like big smile on his face. No chance for Amos. STE out legs into the end zone. Big time drive for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And the only touch of the game for Sean Thomas Erlington is just huge for the Cats right now. Curly Gittins on the return. And the coverage down the field is good with Stavros Katsantonis taking him down at the Argo 26.
That's fun time right there. Yep. You know, Hamilton's running game's been in question a lot this season, and a night where they take the dual threat of two quarterbacks on the field trying to help out the run game. And they relying on Don Jackson as STE's had a big game. Then he throw a little Newman in there. A short yardage situation. Everybody's contributing for the Ticats' success on the ground.
Look at the difference. Second half point differential. It's been a real problem this season. It's not a problem tonight. Under 3 minutes to go. Bethel Thompson. The Argos are down. Bethel Thompson is down. And it's Micah Johnson getting the job done.
Yeoman's work right there, baby. No rest for the weary. Big man says, I don't need any rest. I'm going to get her done right here and just bull rush and get to you. Watch me. Watch how I work. Boom. Drive him. Get off of me. Grab a piece and then get all of them and take them down. Nice and easy, nice and gentle. Get a little love from Simone. A little salute for his services.
Second sack of the night, Johnson. The tide has really turned in the Ticats' favor. They set up the screen to Willard, and a good tackle there by Simone Lawrence. And Toronto's going to have to kick it away.
Vintage Simone Lawrence coming up, reading the screen, and just takes his legs out from underneath him. Simone Lawrence, his entire career, has been able to read these plays. Big boys try to get out in front. Simone's going to undercut him and watch him out of nowhere. Woo. Like stealth going low. Down goes AJ.
And the punt goes to Woods outside the 40. Good place to start and more. Midfield inside the 50. Lawrence Woods keeps that momentum swing going. Jack Cassar takes him down, but not until he gets to the Toronto 45. Another good night of returns for Lawrence Woods, and a big play there for the all-time leading tackler earlier, Simone Lawrence.
It's just unbelievable, this kid's knack for it. I mean, he's the league's combined yardage leader after tonight's performance. 25.5 yards per punt return. 13.8 going into the game. He's increased that. He's taken over the combined yardage lead. That's impressive. Those guys are cut from a different mold. Terry Williams from Ottawa, this kid here, Jamal Morrow. His returners in this league are just phenomenal. And just Chandler, if we can get him healthy, right? Out there in Montreal. Mario Alford, Sask. These guys are just all so lethal on teams. And all night long, Rod, I've been talking about special teams, and it's just been amazing how they factored into this ball game.
They really have.
Yeah.
Special teams were big last week too in the Argos' favor. But Simone Lawrence, talk about great defense too. And remember, he left. It didn't look like he'd be back when he left earlier, and he seems just fine. Talk about a huge defensive play for the Ticats here.
Yeah, he reads it. McLeod lifts it. AJ turns around before he can gather his feet. Woof, just Simone Lawrence knifing in there. We know Orlando Steinauer has seen that a time or two. Well, that's just momentum there. Simone says, give me the love. Give me the love. You deserve some right there. 2-1. Get off the field. Give your offense that ball back. Let them go create some more damage.
Well, we have 2:11 on the clock. Hamilton has the ball and the 7-point lead. In great shape now. They can finish this off to get their third win of the season. It's the fullback on special teams, Declan Cross, the injured Argo, getting helped off the field.
Gosh.
And but for Hamilton, losing last week in the first game of this 4 games in 5 against the Argos, that much more pressure on the Ticats, especially with Montreal, Matty, winning in Winnipeg last night.
Yeah, huge. You know, all these games factoring in. Montreal slated next up.
So the ball and the game really is in the Ticats' hands now. If they can just hang on in this possession, getting down to near 2 minutes. Still a one-score game, mind you. The Argos could still come back, but Hamilton, with a major momentum swing in the fourth quarter, have everything going their way right now.
Yeah, and Rod, this is, as an offensive lineman, you're just loving, relishing in the opportunity for Tommy Condell to call a running play and let you go root it out and continue to eat the clock and put Seth into a position where he can tap a field goal and make it a two-score game.
And on a night when the Ticats have run a lot better than they have normally, Jamie Newman has been their leading rusher. And Newman is close to another first down.
He's been about 1.5 yards short.
Yeah, he got it about the 39, 38. They had to get to the 37.
Yeah, so Small's looking at what, about a 40, 45 yarder.
His CFL high, done earlier tonight, is 43. We'd mentioned earlier a lot of his field goals, just out of situation, were short. He had missed one from 41, his longest try before tonight. And this one will be the longest yet at about the 46-yard line, where Matthew Schultz will put it down to make it a two-score game with under 2 minutes to play. Seth Small puts it up, puts it through. Hamilton, 1:40 in the clock, and the Tiger Cats are leading by 10.
That's huge. Yeah. So one Katy, Texas product turns it over tomorrow to another one, and Bo Levi Mitchell. I love the synergy here. What a fourth quarter for the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Matthew Schultz.
And you said it regarding the Ticats schedule, most of which is against Ryan Dinwiddie's Argos. But they get to within 2 points of Toronto if they can get this win, and tied with Montreal. And next week, a reprieve from the Argos, Ticats, Alouettes, and Montreal. How big is that?
Yeah, that's just so this. You know, if you're complaining about the schedule, it's shaping up to pretty interesting right now.
With Matthew Schultz going in to start against his old team,
he can't write this stuff. It just writes itself. Fantastic.
Great storylines here in the CFL. And coming out of this, depending, of course, how Dane Evans is. Schultz has acquitted himself very well tonight, 14 of 19, 176 for a touchdown and a pick, and he did miss the entire third quarter, but 2 touchdown drives here in the fourth quarter. And now that field goal, and it's 34-24. At one point, it was 24-17 Argos, 17 unanswered. Curly Gittins with the ball. 17 unanswered points by the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The fourth quarter was Hamilton's nemesis until tonight. What a difference.
Yeah, in that second half period, you know, 20-3, they've outscored Toronto 17-0 here in the fourth. And again, I'll say it, special teams, Craig Butler, you've had your boys rolling tonight. They've been outstanding and on point. Game of field position. Y'all taking full advantage of it. A couple penalties here and there, but man, it's gone a long way.
First down. Argos with a lot of work to do now. Jamal Roll throws Gittins down. Just under a minute and a half. Talk about fired up special teams earlier too. Jared Richards, by the way, at the tackle on that kickoff return. There's Craig Butler, who is a great Ticats player and got into coaching and coordinates the special teams, and probably tough too after what happened last week in the block punt.
Yeah, he had to eat that all week long, right? Mickey Donovan, you know, he's getting patted on the back all week long, as he should, but boy, tip for tap.
Second down, short. So that's a first down easily for the Argos, but the clock is against them now, 1:18, and they need a touchdown and a field goal in a very short period of time. So they Going tempo, of course, trying to hurry up over the ball.
Yeah, and if things don't change in a hurry here for MBT, you know, his quirky stat of being 12-8 at home and 5-12 on the road is going to go to 5-13. It's a tough place to get a victory. I can always remember that no matter what team I was playing for, coming into Hamilton, trying to win, that was always tough, Rod. Always a tough
And you
route.
knew this, you know the rivalry from both sides, but you knew it coming in with Toronto, didn't you?
Ah, man. My first 5 years in Edmonton, coming over here, it was just, we would walk in and we would limp back.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Tough games. Old Iverwin Stadium, too. Here at Tim Hortons Field, by the way, the Argos, not since 2014, the Argos have only won twice here. And the second time was the last time they played here. You and I were at this game, Thanksgiving Monday last year, when they won it on a Boris Beatty field goal.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen very often. No. And what was that, 51
yards. But for Orlando Steinauer, now in his third year as head coach, just a great unblemished record starting in 2019. They were perfect at home. Bethel Thompson, pressure. It's coming, taken down. That's Malik Carney with the sack. Back at the Argo 40.
Yes, sir. Gotta love that. That's a second. Go get some, North Carolina. Go get some. Yeah, you're right there. He's gonna come around the outside one more time. Julian spin move, a little twist there with Dylan Wynn. McLeod thinks he's got the edge. Backside heat gets it.
On the second down and long, A.J. Willett takes it. Great move to get across midfield and a first down. He had a nice move at Simone Lawrence there. But under a minute to go, it's down to 50 seconds. Louette, who is injured now, limping as he gets up.
Yeah, this is open field tackling. Typically calling card for Simone Lawrence. Willett says nope. And he makes a roll miss. Makes another man miss. Still going. Knocked out of bounds. Temporarily on the sidelines.
And that falls incomplete. Brandon Banks, an emotional last couple of games for him. 2 games against his old club. This is first trip back and not looking as memorable right now with his new team trailing his old one by 10 points.
Yeah, really, everything was going well for Toronto. In the beginning of the third quarter, they finished out the first half with a penalty-aided drive for a score, and then they got the ball back, and everything was heading in the direction, and then the script was flipped, and it's been all Hamilton ever since.
Bethel Thompson that kind of night, but he got it away to Dan Adebaboye. The rookie running back takes it. Picks up some yardage after that desperation toss by Bethel Thompson as he was being sacked.
You got to be creative here. We talked about top of the show about Bethel Thompson. He's got some creativity. You only got 2 downs to work with. You better figure out something. Give it to him. A little over the head dumper.
Throwing again now. Off there to Curly Gittins. It is a first down, but there's 29 seconds to go.
Yeah, we all know this is Yabs, yards after beatdown.
Academic at this point.
Could be very misleading on the stat sheet. That's why sometimes those are hard to believe.
I believe you are the creator of the Yab stat, too.
I'm John Perlberg.
You were John.
Yeah.
Flags out. Ambles with the ball. He's hit shy of the 20. 19 seconds.
Might have been a collaborative effort, but I'll give it to Johnny P. We got some of the best in the business, man. We got him a Dave Moore. We got Johnny Russin. We got Johnny Perlberg. We're loaded with talent over here. We're 3 deep.
Toronto number 16.
We got Joey Stats back in the studio. We got Richardson back there too, help us all the time. These guys are phenomenal what they do. We ask for it and they have it.
They really are, and they've helped us for years, here and in the studio too. Keeping us honest with the numbers, and the numbers right now are looking awfully good for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Winding down here at Tim Hortons Field. Academic at this point. 12 seconds on the clock. Brandon Banks with the catch. Just his second of this game.
What a night here at Tim Hortons Field. Beautiful night for football. Ticats performed for their home fans.
Looking into the end zone and caught out of bounds. It was intended for Gittins. Flag is out where Bethel Thompson was hit back in the Argo backfield. 2 seconds on the clock. And Jamal Roll.
Major foul, roughing the passer.
Slow to get up in the end zone.
Hamilton, number 96. Half the distance of the goal. Automatic. First down.
They get one of the newcomers, Ronheen Bingham, defensive lineman. There's Bingham, who gets called for roughing the passer.
His stand up right here, and he's going to be late to the party. You can understand, a little zealous. You know, he wants to get there. He lost his footing, and I think there lost his perspective on the play, and he was going 100 miles an hour. Tough to stop. Nevertheless, you would hate to see McLeod get hurt on that. We got rolled down here, 2 seconds on the clock.
Jamal Roll
plays. Yeah, it's just, this is what you don't want to see as a coach. As players, fans, guys going seamlessly down for really no reason. Yeah, they got to be thinking total points here, because McLeod Bethel Thompson's going to come out there and kick 3.
It's 4 games.
Yeah.
It feels like one game, and we're almost at halftime now.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, it's like round 2. It's just like, you know, we're just halfway there, boys.
Late in the half, you'd kick a field goal, wouldn't you? You'd try to add to your point total. Of course, who knows how that point total will matter.
And that's a good perspective to look at it. You know, you have to look at it, step back and look at it a whole like that. And that's why you see this happening right now. And Roll looks really, really like he's struggling down. You know, he looks like he needs help there.
Yeah, in so many ways, a great night for the Ticats, but just to see these injuries too, all these concerns as Roll limps off, that's tough to see. Mark Washington, Orlando Steinauer, one of their great defenders, heads off. But
yeah, big victory in the absence of Dane Evans. Kudos to coaching staff for finding a way to get it done. Nice job for them. Tommy Condell finding ways to make that offensive running game work so well. Tough win.
So I'll play along with the point total. It was 34-20 last week, Toronto.
Yep.
So 14 points. So they're already still ahead in terms of total points. We're just having fun right now. They're playing, as I say, like one game. So that makes it a 7-point game. And zeros on the clock. Their first 2 games here this season, they had leads in the 4th quarter and they couldn't hang on against Calgary and Edmonton. This time the Ticats trailed by 7 heading into the 4th quarter, and they came back and they won it. So the 4-game series is all tied now. Round 2 goes to the black and gold of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
It's been fun, Ron. Look forward to the next 2 rounds.
They're
fantastic.
Coming.
These guys know each other well.
In 2 weeks' time, and then again Labor Day Monday, they'll do it again. Rivalry alive and well. 2 more games coming up in Alberta tomorrow, and a doubleheader Saturday in the CFL on TSN. Thank you for watching tonight in Hamilton. Ticats win. SportsCenter is next.